Hi, let's continue the session. Let's start with types of chemical bonds. As we know what is chemical bond, then there are different types of chemical bonds. One is ionic bond, covalent bond, metallic bond and hydrogen bond. Here we discuss only ionic bond and covalent bond, metallic bond and hydrogen bond. We will not discuss anything now. Right? So ionic bond and covalent bond. Covalent bond again there's one is single bond, double bond and triple bond. So what is meant by the ionic bond? So ionic bonds are formed by the transfer of electrons from one atom to another atom. Ionic bonds are formed by the transfer of electrons from one atom to another atom. Whereas covalent bonds are formed by the sharing of electrons. So let's understand the ionic bond. Let's understand the ionic bond. So the ionic bond is formed by the transfer of electrons. By the transfer of electrons between one atom to another atom. So the ionic bond is formed by the ions. Formed by the ions. And it is also called as electrovalent bond. Electrovalent bond because of electrons are involved. Electrons are. So let's understand the formation of ionic bonds between sodium and chloride, magnesium and chloride, magnesium and oxygen. So by using Lewis electron dot structures. Lewis electron dot structures. Let's understand. So when a metals reacts with a non-metal, transfer of electrons takes place from metal atoms to the non-metal atoms and ionic bond is formed. The strong force of attraction developed. The strong force of attraction developed between the oppositely charged ions like cations and anions is known as ionic bond. Ionic compounds are made up of ions. This ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons between one element to another element. One element is metal, then the other element is non-metal. So let's take some examples for understanding ionic bond. So formation of sodium chloride. Formation of sodium chloride. So whatever the level hydrogen will work, to explain about the ionic bond should take sodium chloride only because it is very easy to understand. That's sodium is a metal as we know, reacts with chlorine and form ionic compound. So as we know, sodium plus chlorine, sodium chloride, sodium chloride. So Na plus Cl 2NaC. This is now let us understand by using how these are formed. First of all, these ionic bond, these ionic compound like sodium chloride formed by the combination of ions. Formed by the combination of ions. So sodium ion and chloride ion. So as previous session we will discuss how the sodium ion is formed, how the chlorine ion is formed. So sodium, we know atomic number 11. So electronic configuration 281, loses one electron. it gives us Na plus. So 2, 8. So 1 electron is lost. Electron is lost. Similarly, chlorine Cl, it gains electron. It gains electron and it forms Cl minus. So 2, 8, 7. 2, 8, 7. After gaining 1 electron, it gets 2 A and it is 2A. It is the nearest noble gas electronic configuration of neon. It is the nearest noble gas electronic configuration of argon. So these two are combined. These two are combined. But so Na plus Cl minus. So NaCl is formed. NaCl is formed. So let us understand by Lewis dot structures. Lewis dot structures. So here sodium loses 1 electron and forms sodium ion. Chlorine gains the 1 electron and forms chloride ion. When sodium reacts with chlorine, it transfers 1 electron to chlorine and chlorine take the electron. How? This enables. Let us understand with the electron dot structure. Let's understand with the electron dot structure. Sodium plus Cl minus, this is Na plus. So charge transfer of charges. Electron transfer. Electron transfer. So instead of that. So 2, 4, 6. So otherwise should take only 1 electron, no problem. Instead of taking all this, you have present only the valence cell electrons. Valence cell electron, then chlorine 7. So 2, 4, 6. So 2, 8, 1, 2, 8, 8, but here we can represent only the outermost electrons. So this 1 electron is transferred to the chlorine. Transferred to the chlorine, then sodium forms plus, then Cl minus. So 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, here 2, 4, 6, 8. After gaining 1 electron, then finally forms this Na plus and Cl minus are transferred. Finally we get sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So it is represented in this schematic diagram in terms of diagram. So sodium 2 electrons in first chain, 8 electrons in second chain, and the outermost chain having 1 electron plus 2 electrons first shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons second shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 third shell. Then only 1 electron in outermost shell of sodium. Then here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in chlorine outermost shell. So after transferring this 1 electron to chlorine, transfer it to 1 electron is chlorine. So you can write how. You can write of sodium. This is the chlorine. Then 2 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third orbit because of already valence cell electron transfer to the chlorine. Valence cell electron transfer to the chlorine, whereas chlorine has 8 electrons. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So sodium has 8 electrons in outermost shell, chlorine has 8 electrons in outermost shell. So both get the stability. Both get the stability and forms a compound called sodium chloride. And forms a compound called sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. So the sodium chloride compound, the sodium chloride compound is formed by the ions. So this is sodium ion. This is chloride ion. This is the sodium atom and this is the chlorine atom. So this structure is called as the electron dot structure. This is proposed by the Lewis electron dot structure. So in this way, ionic compounds are formed. Ionic compounds are formed. Right? So one of the example is sodium chloride. So by the transfer of electrons between one element to another element, the electron which transfer the electron is a metal. The electron which takes the electron is a non-metal. So sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. So due to transfer of electrons, ions are formed. Sodium forms sodium ion, chlorine forms chloride ion. So together combined and forms strong ionic compound. Electrovalent because of, so by the formation of ions and plus ion, two oppositely charged species. Two oppositely charged species are called ions are formed. Between the two oppositely charged ions, a strong bond is formed. That bond is called as ionic bond. So sodium chloride is an ionic compound. Let's take one more example. Magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. Similarly, the potassium chloride also. Potassium chloride also form like the sodium chloride. Like the sodium chloride. Next, formation of magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. Magnesium is a metal, whereas oxygen is a non-metal. So formation of magnesium oxide. Formation of magnesium oxide. So we can write first of all magnesium plus O2 is equals to 2N0. 2N0. Let's write. So magnesium. First of all, I have magnesium then loses the 2 electrons and forms 2, 8. Then coming to the oxygen. So oxygen is a non-metal. Oxygen is a non-metal. So let's write electronic configuration 2, 8. Sorry, 2, 6. 2, 6 because the atomic number is 8 plus taking 2 electrons. So it forms O minus 2, 8. 2, 8. So magnesium atomic number 12. So 2, 8 to oxygen atomic number 2, 6. Oxygen atomic number 2, 6. So let us explain with the Lewis dot structures. Lewis dot structures. So first of all, write like this: magnesium. So we can write only valence electrons. So 2 electrons plus oxygen only 6 electrons. So 2, 4, and 6. So these 2 electrons are transferred to oxygen. So what will happen here? Mg plus 2 and O minus. So here are 2, 4, 6 and 8. Or simply we can write as MgO. So we can write as MgO. Magnesium oxide. So let us understand by electron structures. So magnesium. So 2 electrons in the first carbon, then 8 electrons in the second carbon, and again 2 electrons in the last carbon plus oxygen. Only 6. So 2 electrons, then 6 electrons. You can represent with dark or class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2 electrons are gathered, transferred here and forms 2 only. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is Mg plus 2 and oxygen. So 2 atoms are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is O minus. So in this way, magnesium oxides. This way, magnesium oxide is formed. Here sodium chloride is formed. So here magnesium forms magnesium ion, oxygen forms oxide ion. So both having opposite charges, which is so a strong bond is formed. This is the representation of ion. So this way, similarly, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide are formed. Then we explain with what? Calcium chloride, magnesium chloride also form a single bond. So first of all, write electronic configuration of the metal atom. Then we know metal atoms are loaded electrons. So the metal atom has 1, 2 or 3 in the outer motion, there is electron. Non-metal atom you are having 5, 6 or 7 electrons in outer motion. Also they gain the electrons. So here sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, then magnesium chloride, calcium chloride, sodium oxide, aluminum oxide, copper sulfate, calcium nitrate. These all are the examples for ionic compound, because these compounds are formed. These compounds are formed by the formation of ions. So if you take some other examples, calcium oxide, sodium oxide, Na2 actually. So it is formed Na plus O minus. Na plus O minus. So calcium oxide, carbon sulfide, potassium chloride. Then similarly calcium chloride. So Ca plus 2 and Cl minus. So these are sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, copper sulfate, sodium oxide, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, aluminium chloride, aluminium oxide. So these all are the example for ionic compounds because they are formed by the ions. They are formed by the ions. Then coming to the ionic compounds and properties. The compounds contains or the compounds formed by ionic bond. The compound formed by ionic bond called as ionic compounds. Ionic compounds. Ionic compounds. So these are sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, copper sulfate, sodium oxide, calcium chloride. All are the ionic compounds because of they are formed by the ions, not the molecules. So whenever a compound made up of metal and non-metal, whenever we see a compound made up of a metal and non-metal, we should at once say that it is ionic compound. It is an ionic compound and contains ionic bonds. What is ionic bond? Ionic bond is formed by the transfer of electrons between one atom to another atom, means between metal to non-metal. Then coming to properties of ionic bonds. Properties of ionic bonds. So what are the properties having the compounds formed by the ionic bond? So ionic compounds are usually crystalline solids. Ionic compounds are crystalline solids. Ionic compounds are crystalline solids. So here you write. So crystalline solids. Mostly ionic compounds are crystalline solids. Ionic compounds having high melting point and boiling point. They have high melting point and boiling point. Ionic compounds are crystalline solids. They have high melting point and boiling points. Ionic compounds are usually soluble in water. So they are soluble in water. So they are crystalline solids. Having high melting points and boiling point, soluble in water. Salt, sodium chloride is a crystalline solid. Copper sulfate crystals already you see in your laboratory. Then solids, high melting points and boiling points. So sodium chloride melts at 800 degrees centigrade. Sodium chloride melts at 800 degrees centigrade. So this is the melting point of sodium chloride, and the boiling point is 1430 degrees centigrade. 1430 degrees centigrade the boiling point of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound having crystalline structure and high melting point and boiling point. Whereas when we crystal salt or salt dissolves in water, it is solid. But this ionic compound should not dissolve in alcohol or other compounds. Ionic compounds are good conductors of electricity. Conduct electricity. So ionic compounds are good conductors of electricity. when we dissolve sodium chloride in the water, it forms sodium chloride solution. Sodium chloride solution is a good conductor of electricity. Copper sulfate solution is a good conductor of electricity. So as in class 8 you learned chemical effects of electric current chapter. We tested different solutions. They are allow the electricity or not. So ionic compounds are good conductors of electricity. So when we dissolve the ionic solid in water or melt it, the crystal structure is broken down. Then so high melting point and high boiling point are soluble in water. Then they are the good conductors of electricity. So these are the physical properties or the properties of ionic compounds. So they have crystalline solids, crystalline structure solids. So sodium chloride is a common salt crystals having high melting point and boiling points, soluble in water. When they are soluble in water, they are the good conductors of electricity. So this is about the ionic bond. So in the next session, we will discuss about covalent bonds. So inform your friends who are studying class 10 in various schools. Please ask them to watch my videos, and if they like, subscribe the channel. And one more request, anytime I am requesting you, please like a video and make a comment, please. So your comments are helpful to me. Thank you so much.